Okay, we're going to be working on drawing people. And we're going to start out by drawing people from memory. So just trying to draw a generic, a basic person with correct proportion in a pose. And then we'll be moving on from there to drawing people from life and drawing people from a photograph. So there are a couple ways to draw people from your memory. One is kind of a stick figure approach, and I'll show you that. So mostly we understand stick figures, but this is a more advanced stick figure. So I start out by drawing the shoulders, and I just draw a line for the shoulders. And I decide what angle the shoulders would be at. Then I draw a line that's the backbone. Now the waist would be about here somewhere. As you know, your backbone goes down lower than that, and it connects with your hips. So there's the hips. So, and I draw these two lines, shoulders and hips, because those are the widest places on the human body. But then I'm aware of where the waist is, which is a little higher up. Then I'm going to decide, okay, there's a head here. Head is an oval, not an oval, an egg shape. Normally I would draw this really light because I'd like to erase part of this later. Notice how I left a gap because I need room for a neck later. So I left a gap there. And then arms. They connect right at your shoulders. So this is that, like where your collarbone and everything is. This is your arm, shoulder to elbow, and elbow to where your hand is. This length, shoulder to elbow, is the same as shoulder to waist. So same thing here. I can go shoulder to elbow, and that has to equal shoulder to waist. And then elbow to where your hand is. And sometimes I just kind of loosely go, okay, there's going to be a hand there, so I can work on those later. Now, legs. So at this point, your hips, where you bend at the hips, the human body is, that's the halfway point. So from the top of the head to the hips is the same as from there to the feet. So I notice how I check that. And then I'm going to go, okay, so part of this is leg, your upper leg. Then the knee, and then lower leg, and your foot. And same with whatever the other one's doing. And then I got to keep things in mind, like, well, if this leg's bent, that actually makes it just a little bit shorter. It's not going to go all the way to the bottom here. Okay, so I have something like that, which is this kind of advanced stick figure. Then at that point, you would start to think about, well, what does this person really look like? I've got the pose, I've got the basic proportions correct, but it's not, it looks more like a skeleton. So you start drawing thickness to it. You can think about what clothes they're wearing, more specifically what their feet are doing, body, arms, neck, and what the hands are doing. And I'm going to do this kind of quickly so you don't have to watch me forever, but now this neck looks too wide here and the head looks a little bit big. I'm going to adjust that a little bit. Now maybe I even decide I want the person to be looking off this way. So again, I still have that egg shape, but I turned it. You can start thinking about things like, where's the nose, eyes. Notice I'm just kind of loosely sketching it out. What's the hair doing? And you start, and you can keep, in the time we have in class, or if you want to take yours out of class to work on it, you can start thinking about, well, what do the clothes look like? And kind of perfecting it. But then you have a person that's in correct proportion. Now you can check things, like here, this arm looks too long to me. I can check it. So from here to here, I think I got this part too long. So then I go back and fix things. I look at it and go, well, does that look right to me? Do I have proportion correct? You know, maybe I can. So I'm just going to go back and fix things as I go along. So we're going to spend about 15 minutes in class drawing a person from your memory. Now another way to do this, a little slightly different way, is, oh now I've lost, you can, rather than have the skeleton, sometimes people, I'm going to start with, sometimes people draw the shoulders and the hips, and then rather than draw this backbone, they draw more of a V shape. And then they work with, rather than lines for the arms, they work with more of these kind of oval shapes. Now, I don't do this as much, so we'll see how good I am at this. You know, they're doing something that has a thickness to it rather than the single line, and they do the same things for the legs. And for some people, that just because it's not a stick figure anymore helps them. So notice how I went with more of elongated ovals. So that's another technique or another method for drawing people. And you can draw people in any pose. So here would be, like I could angle the shoulders. I could curve the spine. I could angle the hips. I could put the arms out like that. Now make the person jumping. So here's my little stick figure. And you can see how I can get a really different kind of pose using the same stick figure method or the one with the V and putting, and sometimes it's helpful, sometimes people start with the stick figure and then add the thickness in this way, and you can start to see it more. And maybe that would be helpful for you too, to think about, okay, I can do a stick figure, and then I can put these little ovals in on top of it. So I guess that would be a combination of the two and get something that looks a little more like a person, and then you keep coming in. And ultimately we erase this here, this is in the hard angle here. Can think about the hands. Think about what they're wearing. Maybe this person has shorts on. Maybe they're wearing a t-shirt of some sort. And I end up with lots of extra lines in here, but that's okay because this is practice and this is learning about how to do this. So it's okay to have lines. Sometimes I don't even erase all my lines in my practice ones because I'm just really perfecting what I'm doing, and I know I can just draw over, like this leg doesn't look like it's down far enough. Maybe I moved the whole like that. Now I'm going to erase that because it's bothering me because it's in my way. And with faces, you also can think about, well, where's the middle of the face? And then the eyes are halfway down. Nose is halfway, mouth is halfway, and that kind of helps me establish where is the face. Ear would be here. Hair, whatever's going on with the hair. And I start to get something that looks more like a person. So this was a combination of the basic stick man or stick person and be working with the elongated ovals. And in this one, I started out with the basic stick person and then added the thickness to the elongated ovals. So under the word memory, you are going to work on drawing a person from memory, trying to get an interesting pose and correct proportion.